When you are summoned by the divine, it won't be loud. It will come in whispers that echo louder than any thunder. It might happen when the world is quiet, when your phone is on silent, your mind just beginning to rest, and you finally stop pretending to be okay. That's when it comes. That undeniable pulse, somewhere between your ribs and your soul. You don't know why your chest feels heavy or why your eyes sting for no reason. But something is stirring, something ancient, something urgent. If this resonates with you, comment your experience below or share this with someone who might need to hear it. Welcome. Today we're going to reveal something many have ignored, and it's coming with intensity. This isn't fear. This isn't paranoia. It's alignment, an urgent spiritual broadcast, encoded in the stillness of early hours, echoing through chosen hearts. And yes, it's meant for you. This is not a course, no bluff, no forced information, just truth, for your well-being. Now listen closely. There are hours where heaven speaks in the clearest tongue, not noon, not when everyone's awake and scrolling, chasing dopamine. God speaks when the city sleeps, when the noise fades, when there's no one to impress. And if you've ever felt an unexplainable pull at 3 a.m., if your soul stirred while the world laid still, then you already know. There's a message looking for a receiver, and you are the signal tower. Why 3:30 a.m.? Because at that hour, your ego sleeps but your soul is awake. Your masks are off. Your distractions are down, and God doesn't waste revelation on crowded minds. He waits for emptiness, for surrender. That's when he speaks, not in words, but in frequencies that rewire your destiny. That's why you might wake up in cold sweats, or feel a clarity you can't explain, or receive a vision so vivid you question reality. It's not insomnia, it's invitation. This is what they never wanted you to know. Most people ignore the calling not because they can't hear it, but because it doesn't speak in the language of trends. It doesn't offer a quick fix. It asks for something rare: stillness, presence, trust. You see, your breakthrough doesn't scream, it waits. And only the spiritually tuned can hear it coming. That's why this message is not for everyone. It's not even for most. It's for the ones who've been feeling like something is about to shift, but can't explain how they know. The ones who get goosebumps at truth they've never heard before, but somehow already understand. Let me ask you something. What if the delay you hated was actually divine timing, preparing your capacity to receive what's already on its way? What if the reason you were isolated was so you'd stop outsourcing your compass? Nobody tells you this, but 3:30 a.m. isn't a random moment. It's spiritual prime time. That's when heaven knocks on hearts, checking who's still available for assignment. And if you've been waking up, restless, alert, or heavy-hearted, it's not coincidence, it's a visitation. But the question is, have you been listening or just scrolling? They tried to silence you, didn't they? Told you you're overthinking, that you're too deep. But deep is where the kingdom is. And you were never meant to live on the surface. You're not crazy. You're connected. You didn't fit in because you were meant to be calibrated for another rhythm, a divine one. While others count followers, you count confirmations. While others seek validation, you seek vibration. And now, something is being stirred again. This Sunday at 3:30 a.m., you'll feel it. Some of you already have. For others, it's the night heaven taps your shoulder and says, now. You don't have to do anything dramatic. Just be awake, spiritually. Sit. Listen. Let the stillness pour into you. You don't need a script. You are the altar. Your breath, the offering. Too many are sleeping through their assignments because they expect fire from the sky, not whispers in the dark. But the whisper is where God trusts you most. It's where he hands you things others can't carry. Not because you're better, but because you're built for it. What if your resistance all this time was never against failure, but against forgetting who you are? What if all the things you thought were punishment were preparation? There are moments in your life that define entire eras, and they never announce themselves with applause. They come like this: late, quiet, holy. If this message is reaching you now, it's because something in you already knew the message was coming. And there's no pressure, no deadline. But if you want to receive what's next, truly receive, you must meet it where it lives. In truth, not noise. In peace, not panic. In alignment, not ambition. You are not broken. You are breaking open. Let the next time you wake at 3:30 a.m. not be annoyance, but awareness. That hour is holy, and so are you. At any given moment, you have the power to say, "This is not how the story is going to end." Christine Mason Miller. There's a moment not marked by time, but by energy. And yet, God chose a time for you, 3:30 a.m., not to scare you, not to haunt your peace, but to wake you up when the world is at its most silent, because that's when He knows you can finally hear. Now listen closely. This is not just a warning about what's coming. It's a reminder of what's already stirring inside you. Some of you have been feeling it for days. A strange pressure in your chest, restlessness with no cause, sleep that's been uneasy. It's because the veil is thinning. Something divine is crossing over, and you've been selected to witness it. Not everyone will understand this time, but you do. Because you've walked through too many nights with no answers. Because you've seen too many signs that nobody around you could interpret. Because you've been marked since birth. And you know it. Nobody tells you this, but the enemy doesn't waste his time on the ordinary. You've been attacked because you carry frequency. And frequencies disturb patterns. You weren't made to go along with the rhythm of the world. You were made to break the spell. And that's why the warning comes for you now. This world is about to enter a moment of reset, a spiritual reset. You'll feel it before most, not because you're better, but because you are called to stand up when others fall asleep. This is what they never wanted you to know. At 3:30 a.m., the realm of influence begins to shift. Do you ever wonder why prophets woke up at dawn? Why monks, mystics, and seers fasted at twilight hours? Because there are windows when heaven touches earth. And this Sunday, you've been summoned to stand at that window. It's not a call to panic. It's a call to prepare. What if this strange hour is when heaven does its roll call? And only the awakened answer. You don't need rituals. You don't need perfection. You need clarity. Clarity that this world is not what it seems. Clarity that your intuition wasn't imagination. Clarity that your pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. They tried to silence you, didn't they? They told you to calm down, to be realistic, to not speak so much about energy, spirit, meaning, signs. But you never fit in because you weren't meant to. You were meant to notice what they ignore. You were meant to wake up when they sleep. You may have thought your insomnia was a curse. It wasn't. It was the gentle hand of God knocking on the door of your soul at night. This is why things have been breaking off around you lately. Friendships, routines, old dreams. Not because you failed, but because you passed. You passed tests you didn't even know were tests. You chose peace when anger was easier. You chose silence when vengeance was deserved. You chose stillness when the noise could have won. So why now? Why this hour? Because this moment, this early Sunday morning when even the city rests, it becomes the altar, and your awareness is the offering. Heaven's warning is not wrath, it's alignment. You're being told to tune in before the shift becomes too loud to ignore. You were sent here as a frequency, not a follower. And when 3:30 comes, you'll feel something. A tug in your chest, a whisper that sounds like your own thoughts but isn't. A push to sit up, breathe deep, and just listen. No instructions, no ceremonies, just presence. Because those who listen at that hour won't be shaken by what comes after it. The warnings don't come to scare the chosen, they come to prepare them. And this is your moment. Let the world sleep. Let the others roll over and dismiss the nudge. You already know too much to go back to sleep. This is what you were born for. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. At 3:30, time slows down, but your soul speeds up. The air becomes different, quieter, thinner, like even the darkness is holding its breath. And somewhere inside you, a whisper rises. Not loud, but undeniable. That whisper isn't just intuition, it's remembrance. Because you've been here before, not physically maybe, but spiritually. These hours have always belonged to you. From the day you were marked as different, this window has followed you in silence, waiting for you to notice it. You felt it in the pauses between dreams, in the tension that comes before a major shift in your life, in the moments when you wake up for no reason, with your heart racing but your mind still quiet. This is not coincidence, it's frequency. You're tuning into something the rest of the world can't hear. Because while they were given comfort, you were given clarity. They sleep through the battle. You stand guard in the spirit. And here's what few will ever understand. You don't need a microphone to be a messenger. You don't need a pulpit to carry presence. Your obedience in silence has already spoken more than their noise ever could. You've been warning people for years without knowing it, by walking away from the wrong things, by choosing peace even when it cost you everything, by protecting your inner world when everyone else was leaking theirs for attention. This is why you felt alone. You weren't being punished, you were being positioned. Not for the spotlight, but for the signal. Because the most powerful things aren't announced. They arrive silently, like sunrise, like revelation, like divine timing. You've been moved, shifted, set apart. Not because you're broken, but because your blueprint was too rare for the crowd. And now you feel it again. The pulse of something invisible, but impossibly real. That pulse is a divine countdown, not the end of something, but the activation of everything you thought was delayed. The storm you've been sensing, it's not to break you, it's to reveal what couldn't show up until everything else cleared out. The rejection you endured, it was protection. The delay you hated, it was divine disguise. Now listen closely. This warning is not just about time, it's about timing. At 3:30 a.m., you will be aligned with the truth that has followed you since you were a child. You were never meant to fit in. You were never supposed to play small just to keep others comfortable. You were never born to be normal. You are a threshold, a passageway between two worlds. The warning is not about what's ending. It's about what's beginning in you, that nothing can stop anymore. You may be asking, but why me? Because you kept going when you had every reason to give up. Because you chose solitude when noise was available. Because even when you were doubted, drained, misunderstood, and underestimated, you still listened. And now, at this divine hour, you're not being told to prepare in fear. You're being told to receive in faith. Receive the knowing. Receive the insight. Receive the shift in your spiritual posture. Because when the world wakes up Sunday morning, they won't know what passed through the air that night. But you will. You'll know because your dreams will feel different. Your body might feel lighter. You'll wake up not with anxiety, but clarity. Like something that had been circling you finally made contact. This is what happens when the warning isn't ignored. The veil lifts, the illusions fade, the calling becomes unmistakable. No thunder, no drama, just a clean, quiet shift. And when it hits, don't rush to explain yourself. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to live aligned. You don't need to post about it. You don't need validation. The proof is in your peace. The confirmation is in your calm. Because when the world is shaking and you're standing, that's how you'll know you've listened to the right frequency. And when others look at you confused, wondering how you saw this coming, you'll smile quietly, knowing it started at 3:30. When you are in alignment with the truth of who you are, everything that is not meant for you will fall away. You were never crazy. You were called. The hour is not random. The message is not generic. This entire journey, the nights you woke up sweating without cause, the days you couldn't explain your anxiety, the moments where everything felt invisible but deeply significant, it all points here. Right now, you've been walking through a divine unfolding. And by now, you've likely noticed your life isn't normal anymore. You can't laugh at the same things. You can't fake your interest in shallow talk. You can't pretend you don't feel what you feel, even when there are no words for it. Because there's something alive in you now that refuses to be silenced again. This is what the 3:30 a.m. moment ignites. It isn't just awareness, it's activation. God doesn't waste awakenings, and you don't get them unless you're ready. This warning wasn't sent to scare you. It was sent to call you out of patterns, out of passivity, out of waiting for someone to give you permission to be who you already are. And here's the divine truth few can stomach. Your elevation will look like separation. Your peace will look like rebellion. Your glow will provoke those still stuck in shadows. So don't expect applause. Don't wait for support. When you rise at 3:30, the world will still be asleep. That's exactly how God planned it. This is your sacred window, where you're trusted with downloads too holy for the daytime, where you're handed clarity too strong for the noise of noon, where heaven whispers things into you that will take weeks to even understand. And what you do after that, what you choose to believe about what you've received, will determine how you move from here. Let's be clear, God didn't wake you for your comfort. God woke you for your covenant. You are not here to blend in. You are here to blaze a new path no blueprint has shown you. And every single thing you've lost, it wasn't punishment, it was space clearing, to make room for the power you weren't ready to carry, until now. Don't doubt your strength now. You've survived too much. That heartbreak, it softened you without destroying you. That silence, it trained your ears to hear frequencies others call nonsense. That betrayal, it baptized you into wisdom. You are not bitter, you're built. And the ones who thought you were done, they didn't know God was just resetting your access. Because when the divine plans something, there is no delay, only alignment. And alignment comes with evidence. You'll start seeing things differently. The things that used to excite you will now drain you. The connections you once begged to keep will now feel unnatural. The dreams you had as a child will come back stronger, clearer. That's how you'll know the message wasn't just emotional, it was prophetic. And the biggest shift? You will stop explaining yourself. You won't need to justify your peace, your glow, your stillness. You won't apologize for your distance. You won't pretend to be okay just to make others comfortable. Because you'll understand, you were awakened by design. Not everyone was chosen to carry light this heavy. So protect your mornings, guard your knowing, and when the world tries to pull you back into its chaos, remember, you were given a divine warning, not to run, not to panic, but to rise, quietly, boldly, fully. And when it happens, say nothing. Let your alignment speak for itself. Let your peace confuse them. Let your clarity offend them. Because the ones meant to walk with you, they'll feel it. They won't need an explanation. They'll know this one moves different. Now, if this woke something up in you, don't just scroll away. This was meant for you. And if you feel led to support this channel, you'll find a space in the comments to offer what you feel. It helps keep these messages flowing to the ones who need it most. Until next time, stay open, stay light, stay you.